Hello, I'm the Geordie Saver, and in this video I'm going to be talking through exactly how much we overpaid our mortgage by in 2024. So this is the second time I've tried recording this video. I tried last night. I've had a nasty cold this week, in case you can't tell by the sound of my voice, and I thought right, I'm feeling a bit better, I'm going to film this video, and then I ended up with a massive coughing fit, and I was keep pausing the video, and then I just couldn't use it because it was just too disrupted. So fingers crossed I'll get through this video without coughing, and I'll try and move away from the mic if I do. So if you're new to my channel, I post our mortgage overpayment figures every month in a video update. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to give a bit of a whistle-stop tour of the first 11 months that I've already given an update on. Then I'll go through December, and then I'll talk through the totals for the year. So at the start of the year, we had a grand plan of overpaying our mortgage so that £1,000 came off the mortgage balance every single month. And that meant that we would have to overpay our mortgage by £600 a month, because £500 or £510 comes off through the standard payment. But then we've got interest of £100 a month. So actually, it's like £400 actually comes off the mortgage balance each month. So then, we need an extra £600 overpayment to reach that 1,000 goal. So what you can see is that I'm going to count these up. The first 6 months, we managed to hit that goal more or less. So the first 3 months, we were very consistent in overpaying by £600. And then the next 3 months, there was one which was nearly 900, and the other two 500 to 600. So on average, I'm just going to do the average bits here. The average monthly payoff was £1,035 in the first 6 months of the year. But then something changed, and then there was kind of two factors to it. The primary one was that in June, we decided, and I've sort of alluded to this in videos, but I haven't mentioned it explicitly, is that me and my partner decided that we wanted to sign a civil partnership at the start of this year, so in January. So we had it at the start of January, so that's why I'm not nervous to talk about it now. I think, I don't know why, but I don't really like tempting fate with things, just in case, I know, something goes wrong with our planning, and it's a disaster or whatever. I'm quite a catastrophist like that, so I like to talk about things after the event rather than in the lead up to it. So in June, July time, we decided to, I think it was early June time, we decided to do a civil partnership and party in January. Now, that party, obviously, we wanted, well, it's not obvious because we could have done it really small, but we wanted all our friends and family there. So it was a party that had 200 people coming to. So that cost money. So what we had to make a decision to do was to divert money away from the mortgage and put money towards paying for that party. And then the other thing that came up was that, actually, on reflection, I realised that the emergency fund that I had, £1,000 or so, just wasn't enough, and it could be quite easily wiped out. So since July time, I've been trying to put some money towards my emergency fund, and then, some of the other truth of the matter is that the second half of the year is always more expensive because of holidays than the first half of the year. So I think in the optimistic lens that I had in the first half of the year, I kind of hadn't factored that in. But what we did was, based on previous experience, I said, I don't want us to stop overpaying, because as soon as we stop overpaying and stop having the habit, we just probably won't pick it up again, or it'll be really hard to pick that habit up again. So we said, right, want to overpay by, as a minimum, the amount of interest that's accruing on the mortgage, which is around £100 a month. So you can see there in July to November, on average, we overpaid by, you can't see the calculation here, but in Excel at the bottom bottom right, it tells you, if you highlight cells, what the average is. So we paid an average of overpaid an average of £162 per month, which is well over what our minimum goal was, which was really good. And for people who are wondering why is our interest rate so low, it's because we fixed in October 2021, I think it was, and we got a rate of 1.16%, and that's fixed until 2026. So we've been very fortunate with that. So the balance at the end of November was £101,925. And yeah, I'll go through the December figures and talk through those. So the standard payment was £510. The overpayment was £124. So you might seem like a random figure, but basically what it is that we have like £100, it's like 99 or £100, which is automatically added onto our mortgage that we've chosen to add on, and that just represents the minimum that we want to overpay, because it's the monthly mortgage interest. So that's like, so £609, £609 comes out our bank account each month to pay for the standard payment plus the overpayment. And then the £25 extra that came out this month was that I use the Sprive mortgage overpayment app. I've done a video on this before in the past, so I'll link it in the comment box, in the description box down below. But they do these auto saves, so £25 just automatically goes from my bank account into this Sprive mortgage overpayment app, and then I send it across to the mortgage. And then the interest that accrued was £97, and that means that the end balance was £101,387. So we're getting closer and closer to the 100,000. Sorry, a mortgage balance of below £100,000. Now I'm really having to refrain myself because the January payments come out, and as you can imagine, I'm even closer now to the £100,000 figure. So in February, the temptation is that I just pay like £500 overpayment just to get below £100,000 like a month sooner. But actually, that is like it's a pattern of behaviour that I have that isn't really that helpful, because if my priority is my emergency fund, £500 in my emergency fund will give me a lot more peace of mind at the moment than an extra £500 off the mortgage. So I've really got to be a bit sensible and follow through with what my aims are. So this is the moment you've been waiting for. I revealed it too early, but this is the totals for 2024. So we started with £110,989. Our standard payments, so the sum of all these, so this is what we are contracted to pay our mortgage company, is £6,118. Our overpayments were £4,703. So yeah, really good. I mean, I'm going to go back to 2023 and see what the overpayments were. Yeah, in 2023 we had a bit of a. I'll start from 2022. Let's have a look. 2022 had a fantastic year and we were overpaid by nearly £11,000. 2023, and this was like our first year fully out of kind of lockdown stuff, really, or like restrictions on travel. We basically didn't overpay by that much. I mean, we still beat the mortgage interest for the year, which was good. But yeah, we didn't overpay by that much. And then 2024, we're sort of edging more towards the middle, which is good. So you can see there that the total that we paid towards the mortgage was £10,821. So the sum of these two numbers. And then the interest that accrued was £1,219. And then the end balance is £101,387, which meant that the balance paid off was £9,602. Just going to take a sip of water. So this is so close to being 10,000, and actually I'm trying to get better, because when you're in December and you think, oh, I'm so close to 10,000, should I just pay an extra £400 off and just not contribute that to the emergency fund? But, you know, I'm trying to get better, as I said before, of not prioritizing the mortgage at all costs when, you know, I need money in an emergency fund. So the percentage paid off in 2024, so you can do the starting balance, the balance paid off divided by the starting balance is 9%. The total overpayment so far since I started overpaying on the mortgage is £26,343. And, you know, I'll get this. I think what I'll say about people commenting, you know, I'm very happy for people to share different opinions. You know, I think that's really healthy in terms of financial discussions, that you don't just post things into an echo chamber and you have people just like people who are searching, who are doing the same thing and searching for the same videos, that then just like post positive comments that then just reinforce this idea that what you're doing is the right thing. So when people comment and say that they disagree with mortgage overpayments, you know, actually that's really good and healthy for me to hear the different sides of the argument. So I know someone will probably comment and say, you would have been better having £26,000 in your emergency fund right now. And you're probably right, I probably would feel a bit better with it, but I don't know, I just think this is locked away, and although it's difficult at the moment without a big emergency fund, once I build that up, I know I've got 26 grand that's locked towards the mortgage that I'm not going to touch, because my behaviour is to touch money if I've got it sat in a bank account that's easily accessible. So then the current mortgage end date is January 2044. So this doesn't reduce every month at the moment because the overpayments I'm making are below £500. So there is a temptation in the future, once my emergency fund's built up, that I maybe overpay by at least £500 one month, just so I can see what the cumulative impact of these smaller overpayments have had on the mortgage term end date. So what are the plans for 2025? Well, we definitely want to overpay by at least the interest. Now, the great thing about interest is that when the balance comes down on the mortgage, the monthly interest rate also comes down. Sorry, that's totally wrong information. You can tell I'm unwell. The interest rate doesn't come down, but the interest, absolute interest amount comes down, because the interest is a calculation of interest rate times by outstanding mortgage balance. So if your outstanding mortgage balance comes down, then the total amount of interest that you're paying comes down. So that's the correct version. So, but anyways, so yeah, so you can see here I have to pick a month that had 31 days, so that it's 30. So January has 31 days, and I paid £108 in interest, but by December, which also has 31 days, I will only pay £97 in interest. So you can see that I've made, I've reduced the, like, you know, to like a £10 a month better off from all those overpayments I've made in year. Well, that's my rough calculation anyways. So I definitely want to overpay by at least £1,200. I'm guessing that it's going to come to about, well, it's going to be less than £1,200, the interest that accrues in 2025. Will I reach these levels of £11,000 overpayment? I don't think so at the moment, because our emergency fund is sitting at around £2,000 and a bit, and I need that to be £6,000 before I even consider upping this mortgage overpayment amount. And then I also want to prioritise getting my stocks and shares ISA above £10,000 as well. So I think what I'll be happy with in 2025 is if I continue to overpay every single month. So I'm going to about cough again. So I'm going to leave the video here and let us know in the comments below if you've got any thoughts or comments.